Hey guys, welcome to lesson 3. So here we're going to understand that there's only 2 states of being. And so far we've understood that our experiences shape our thoughts only because we give meaning to it. And that our brains are these big search engines that are continually going to produce search results. And we have this tool that's called the reticular activating system that has something to do with the way that we operate. And by knowing this, we now know that we only have 2 states of being. And those 2 states of being are either a primitive state of mind or a performance state of mind. Acting in our primitive state of mind, it activates certain emotions. And that's anger, fear, guilt, shame, and leaves us with lack of energy or anxiety or depression. And we take certain actions in that state. We're not creative, we have zero ability to be vibrant. And for a lot of my life, that is where I lived from. That's where I made decisions. And it ultimately created poor questions that I was asking myself. It made me down on myself a lot of the time. It left me stuck and not knowing what decisions to make because I wasn't good enough, I wasn't educated enough, I was not fast enough, I was too short, I wasn't strong enough. All of these beliefs that I had led me to this primitive state of mind, and the continual actions that I took once I was in that just led to more and more of the results that I was asking for. And the moment that I understood that there was a performance state that had this level of love, passion, joy, creativity, optimism, vitality, it completely changed my life. The opportunity and the moment that I really only felt that was when I was playing hockey or when I was on the floor coaching after my hockey career was over. And everything else that I did in life, I lived from the primitive state of being. And those were the results I got. That's why I got divorced. That's why I suffered from opiate addiction. That is why I sought other avenues to alter my state of being and try and feel that love, try and feel that passion, try and feel that joy in other places, because the results I was getting was based upon the beliefs that I fundamentally had. And when we think about how much time we spend in this primitive state of mind, whether it's 3, 4, 5 hours a day, for me, I felt like I was there all day long. And call it 5 hours a day. That 5 hours is 35 hours a week. That ends up being 70 hours every 2 weeks, 140 hours every month, and well over, it's like almost 2,000 hours a year. And if you think about it, what could you accomplish if you were to live in that performance state, that level of vitality, that curiosity, that intellectual intelligence of passion, joy, and love? What could you accomplish in the course of a year with 2,000 extra hours living in that state? You could accomplish anything. I created 2 6-figure businesses. I found the love of my life. I bought 2 different houses. I moved to New York City. I did all of these things that before I would have never thought possible, simply because of the state of being that I was operating in. And this comes back to the power of your mind and the power of the experiences that you have that you produce meaning to, and the questions you ask yourself. Because the moment we identify that we are either in a primitive or performance state, we can decide whether we act from there. And being conscious enough, being self-aware enough of when we are in one of those 2 states, we now take back the power again to move into the opposite one. We can make the decision to act with gratitude. We can make the decision to do something that brings us closer to that performance state, rather than act in that primitive state, rather than just sulk and be in it and live in it. We have the choice, we have the power, and we've been given now the gift of awareness to consciously make that choice and make that change. So with that understanding that we have 2 states of being, and that within operation of those, we can now create the experience that we want to. We can create the meaning that we want to, and we can operate from that massive performance state, which is where we get the results that we're looking for. Going into lesson 4, we're going to take a look at the 5 different steps to get the actions that we really truly want.